Hi, the next case I'd like to go through with you is a case for Joe. Joe, 43 years of age, he is separated with two dependent children. Joe worked in the construction industry. He previously had a business that failed during the downturn of 2008, and this left him with legacy debt of €50,000. His family home was worth €240,000 and it had a mortgage outstanding of €465,000. His ex-wife lived in social housing with the two children and they shared the custody of the children. Joe wanted to stay in the family home, but the mortgage against the property of $465,000 had arrears of $100,000 in that figure of 465. His bank had taken him and his ex-partner to court to try and get the property back, and they were successful in receiving an order for possession. They just hadn't gotten around to getting an execution order, which would have actually enabled them to take the property back. So Joe was in a very, very precarious situation. He was able then to contact a PIP, and his PIP was able to put forward the following proposal that was agreed between his creditors, Joe, and the courts. So this is a complicated enough one, so it'll take me a minute just to go through it with you. So Joe's mortgage lender, what they did was, it was a 24-month PIA, so it wasn't for 6 years, it was for 24 months. So what his mortgage lender did was the $465,000 mortgage, they reduced the live balance on it to $265,000. The reason being is once the PIA was over, they were made the assumption that by using his income details that he could afford to pay back $265,000 over the full term that was now going to be put in place. The other $200,000 went into what's called a warehouse account, attracting 0%. And what would happen is, if Joe made all the payments as he should do under the PIA, this amount would then be written off, which meant that the loan balance against the property was $265,000. Obviously, this is better for his lender because they are getting back more than the property was worth, and they don't need to go through the execution order element of repossession, which is nobody particularly likes to have to do that. His unsecured lenders, well, what happened with them was because his mortgage bank did, they reduced his repayment to €600 fixed during the PIA period. So for 24 months, they reduced his repayment down to €600. His income was about $2,900 per month, and after his reasonable living expenses, and including the other €600 that it was now going to have to pay towards his mortgage, it left him with €550 a month that he could make towards his PIA arrangement. So over 24 months, this comes to just over €13,200. His unsecured creditors, which now would include the $200,000 as well as the $50,000 unsecured debt, because don't forget the $200,000 that the bank was about to write off is now being treated as an unsecured debt. They received a dividend, so a payment of 2.2% of the debt that was outstanding. Now you might be saying this is very, very low, but if Joe had gone bankrupt, which is his other option after doing a PIA, they would have got nothing. So after paying the PIP, their fee, and paying the 2.2%, that's dividend to his unsecured creditors, at the end of the PIA period, Joe now would have all his unsecured debts written off, and he would have had his loan reduced down to $265,000. The term had been extended to 31 years, including the 2-year PIA. So at the end, he would have and the rate actually was reduced down to 3%. So he then, at the end of 2 years, was now left with a loan of $265,000 at a rate of 3% that he would have to pay over the remaining 29 years. So it allowed him to stay in the family home. Now, I might hear you say, what happened to his wife and what happened next with her. Well, I've done another video just to go through what happened with her, because it's an unusual situation, but it shows you what can happen within a PIA.